So I was taking a French cinema class last semester, and when this came up as the film of the week that we would be studying, my professor reminded us that this film was the first ever French musical, at least, film-wise, that ever been put in theaters in France. And I already don't like musicals that much, so I wasn't that excited to watch this film. And then my professor told us that every single line in this film is sung, so I wasn't that excited to watch the movie itself. But when the final shot of the umbrellas of Cherbourg left the screen, a tear fell on my face. This film was beautiful. It was gut-wrenchingly heartbreaking, and it was also literally La La Land in a different font. And then I come to find out that this is Damien Chazelle's favorite film of all time, and it all makes sense. This film touched my soul in a way that most films don't do, and so of course, I had to come on YouTube and yap about it. In The Umbrellas of Cherbourg, Jacques Demy seamlessly blends music, color, and the narrative itself to create a deep, emotionally resonating experience with the audience. The film's music narrates the characters' lives, the vibrant and shifting color palette reflects their emotions, and the story in the script delivers an unrelenting portrayal of love, loss, and the passage of time. One of the most interesting parts about The Umbrellas of Cherbourg is its use of music. Unlike traditional musicals where songs are mixed in with regular conversation throughout the film, every single word in this film is sung. There are no spoken dialogue interactions anywhere in the film. Every single line in this film is sung dialogue. It's a song, it's music playing. Everything about this film is music. And I thought I would get tired of it, but for some reason it just works. The music doesn't just accompany the story, it is the story. Michel Legrand's score is lyrical, it's melancholic, it's richly layered, it provides a continuous emotional undercurrent to the story that shapes how we perceive each scene. Legrand, I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name, but his scores were often known for combining jazz and classical music together, creating a score that was both innovative and full of emotion. And his collaboration with Demy on The Umbrellas of Cherbourg was kind of a pinnacle in his career, as it required an extraordinary level of integration between music and narrative, saying as, the entire narrative itself was music. And he was a big component of transforming the film into a seamless operatic experience. I think that Legrand's best contribution to this film is this recurring musical motif called "I Will Wait for You," and I feel like it just encapsulates the essence of young love and longing that the film is trying to portray. It plays when I forget what is her name, Genevieve. I think it's Genevieve, but like in French it's Genevieve. I'm pretty sure Genevieve and Guy, when they declare their love, it plays for the first time, and then there's like variations of the song throughout the film, which like mirrors the changes in their relationship. When Guy is drafted into the army and they're torn apart from each other and he's like leaving her, the melody takes on like a sorrowful tone, right? And then the music itself just holds this weight of separation within the music. I don't know how to describe it, but like the music itself just has this like tonal weight to it that makes you feel the separation even more. And then later when the two meet again at the end of the film, when they've been apart for so long and they're not going to get back together, like they're not going to get back together, unfortunately, but their paths meet again. The song plays again, but when it plays this time, it has this hauntingly like bittersweet quality to it, which kind of like reflects, as I was saying, the change that has happened in their life, which is irreversible. They can't get back together, but like the music itself just portrays that so effortlessly. And this motif binds the audience to their emotional journey. It serves as an audible thread that ties their experiences together. Its simplicity and its elegance make it so resonant with the audience. It resonated with me. I mean, I play it all the time on Spotify. It's just such a good song. It's so emotional. It's great. It is great. It just allows the audience to feel the heartache and love lost that these characters are feeling within the film. And it's fantastic. It's some of the best music I've heard in a film in my entire life. And I love it. Like there's so much pain in the song, and I don't know how he does it. I don't know how you like tonally create pain through music that well, but he does a great job. The power of the music in this film, I feel like, really lies in its ability to transcend language and culture, and it just speaks directly to the heart, directly to the feelings. The film's reliance on music as its sole narrative vehicle transforms the film itself into this immersive emotional experience that you can't get in a lot of films anywhere else. I don't know of any other film that has done this before, or like if a film has done this, I don't know if they've done it to this level of brilliance. It's fantastic. I mean, words alone would fail to like convey the depth of feeling and emotion in this film, but music does it perfectly. If the music in the film is the vehicle used to allow the characters to speak, I think the color is the vehicle used to provide a visual representation of their emotions. Demi's use of color is so meticulous, with every hue chosen to mirror the emotional landscape of the narrative. The vibrant candy colored sets and costumes, they initially create this like dreamlike atmosphere. Like as soon as you turn on the film, you see these vibrant umbrellas that are on the screen, right? And they like draw you into this dreamy landscape of the film. And I think that this is done to reflect the feeling of, you know, the young love that the characters are experiencing at the beginning of the film. I mean, Genevieve's shop is drowning in pinks and pastels. It feels like a haven of romance and possibility in the film, right? While the streets of Cherbourg, they're like painted in this like saturated blue and yellow that evoke a sense of optimism. And as the story progresses and Genevieve and Guy's love is like tested by their separation and, you know, all the things that are going on within the confines of the film, the colors shift subtly but very significantly. The bright palette darkens a little bit, and it mirrors the reality that is setting in for these two characters. I think, you know, before when we have the bright pastels and it puts you in this dreamlike environment, the colors, once reality starts to step in, the colors get a little darker. Reality is stepping in. You know, we don't have the dreamlike wonder colors anymore, right? And then when Guy returns from the army to find his life, you know, kind of turned upside down, you know, he has a daughter, or does he know? I forget if he knows that he has a daughter, but his life is turned upside down. His girl has left him. His whatchamacallit, I think his mother or like his aunt or his godmother or whatever, the lady that took care of him is like dead. His girl's gone. His life has been turned upside down, right? And then we have a lot of these like drab greens and grays that, you know, they contrast with the earlier colors in the film. And now I want to talk again about blue and yellow. I know I talked a lot about blue and yellow popping up in my La La Land video essay. You know, go watch it. I don't be plugging my videos, but this is my favorite video that I've ever made, and I think it's my best. So you should go watch it, because this is literally French La La Land. Anyway, I talked a lot about the colors of blue and yellow in that video, and it's really cool to see where Damien Chazelle got the idea from. He kind of stole it from this movie. I mean, at the beginning of the film, both Guy and Genevieve are seen wearing blue. When they're with each other, blue often represents sadness, but it can also represent serenity and calmness. And I think that the lighter shades of blue that these characters wear in the beginning of the film shows us that these characters find serenity in one another as they are falling in love. And they always want to be with one another, and they feel calmer together than apart. However, as the story progresses and their relationship begins to fracture, the colors shift. And by the end of the film, Guy is dressed in a dark navy blue jacket, which nearly appears black on screen. And this darker shade of blue now represents sorrow and a lost love, a stark contrast to the earlier shades of blue seen in the film. And in the final scene, where Guy and Genevieve meet for the last time at the gas station, the dark blues combined with the cold, detached way that Guy looks at Genevieve, oh my gosh, it's literally the final scene of La La Land. It's so good. The way he looks at her, he's just like, he's not pissed, but he's like, oh, I don't know. This guy is a great actor. He does this real good look. He looks at her and he's sad, but he's mad, but he's happy to see her, all in the same facial expression. The eye acting that this guy does is fantastic. But like I was saying, the detached way that he looks at Genevieve, it just creates this immense sense of sadness in your heart. But at the same time, there's like this small hint of joy that they finally get to see each other again and gain a little bit of closure, but like not really, right? And so yellow often represents joy in film, and whether it be Guy's yellow bike or the yellow lines of paint at the gas station, there's always hints of yellow sprinkled in whenever blue dominates the frame. Joy is springing up in the saddest parts of the story, and sorrow is hidden in the happiness. It's beautiful. And in the final scene, set in this like snow-covered gas station, it represents the culmination of all of this visual storytelling combined. The muted whites and grays strip away the emotional warmth of the earlier scenes, leaving behind an atmosphere of stark resignation. When Genevieve and Guy reunite briefly, their subdued surroundings underscore the emotional distance between them, reinforcing the inevitability of their separate lives. The color scheme serves as a visual reminder of the love that once was and the love that is now lost. And in this way, Demy uses color not only as a backdrop, but as an active participant in the storytelling of the film. At its core, The Umbrellas of Cherbourg is a painfully realistic love story about the passage of time and the compromises that we have to make in life. And the narrative's gut-wrenching pain lies in its like realistic portrayal of love and love's fragility and the inevitability of change. Genevieve and Guy's youthful romance is it's dreamy, it's idealistic, it's what we think of when we think of the word love. But you know, the real world intrudes on their love. And when Guy leaves for the military and Genevieve realizes she's pregnant and, you know, she like needs stability in her life, and she doesn't know when Guy's coming back because he's not riding her a lot, and life sets in for the both of them. And I think that Demy's decision to forego a conventional romantic resolution to this plot really adds to the heartbreak that you feel at the end of the film. I mean, the pain of their separation is heightened by the film's refusal to offer an easy resolution to their problem. When Genevieve chooses to marry this different guy, you know, he's wealthy, he offers stability to her. It's not out of a lack of love for Guy, but out of the necessity to have a good life for her and her child. And similarly, Guy's eventual marriage to Madeleine, it's not of a betrayal of his feelings for Genevieve, but it's a acceptance of life's unpredictability, that he's never going to be with the love of his life anymore, and he has to settle in a way. And I think that that's just a painful way to resolve the film, because I feel like if we look at the final scene, when they meet each other again, they both obviously still love each other, but they know that they can't be together because of life, because of the way that the narrative has shaped their lives. They just can't be together. They don't offer each other what they need in life. All they have is their love. And sometimes that's not enough. And that is painful. It's gut-wrenchingly realistic, and it mirrors the compromises and sacrifices that define the human experience itself. And like I was saying, in that final scene where Genevieve and Guy finally encounter each other by chance, you know, it delivers one of the most powerful moments that I've ever seen in film. You know, their polite yet distant conversation reveals the emotional scars that they carry. I mean, if you look at the framing of these two characters throughout the film, in the beginning when they were together, they were always framed together as a couple. They were never framed apart. They were always together in the middle of the frame in every single scene that they were together. But for the first time ever in this film, when they're seen together at the end, they're separate. If I remember correctly, Genevieve is on the left side of the frame, Guy is on the right. It's like cutting back and forth between them. Like they're not a seamless duo anymore. They are literally separated by the camera itself, and it's painful. And this moment encapsulates the film's exploration of unfulfilled dreams and lost love and the bittersweet nature of moving on and moving forward in life, leaving the viewers and me myself with a heartache that lingers long after the credits roll. That final punch in the gut that this film leaves us when the camera pans up And the saddest music I've ever heard in my life just keeps playing, and Genevieve drives off, and Guy watches her drive off, and he's like, oh, now I have to interact with my family again. You know, he watches the love of his life go away, and then he's like, like, I guess I have my family. And then the camera just kind of just like lifts up and looks away from it. And the saddest music in the world is playing in the background, and the colors are dark and muted. It's just sad. It is a sad, painful punch in the gut. Jacques Demy, you did your thing. You made a great film, but why? It's just like La La Land. Why would you do this to me? What is the point of building up this perfect love story if you're just going to say, yeah, no? They don't fall in love actually they don't end up together, and actually they both end up with people who they don't really want to be with, but they have to be with because my narrative says so. The Umbrellas of Cherbourg is an unparalleled cinematic achievement. It weaves together music and color and its narrative into this raw story of love and emotion and heartbreak. It's just, it is beautiful. Michel Legrand's score gives voice to the characters' innermost feelings, while Jacques Demy's vibrant yet shifting color palette maps their emotional journey. And the narrative's painful honesty about love and the passage of time ensures that the film lingers on in your brain long after the credits roll. And every note, every colored hue, and every heartbreaking turn of the story, The Umbrellas of Cherbourg remains a timeless exploration of the beauty and sorrow of human connection. It is a film that invites the audience to immerse themselves fully in its world, to feel the characters' joys, to feel the characters' heartbreaks as their own. And by combining all of this artistry with universal themes, Demy creates a work that transcends its time, remaining profoundly relevant and emotionally resonant for generations to come. And it inspired one of the greatest films ever created, aka La La Land. Shout out Jacques Demy, and shout out Damien Chazelle. If you are still here watching this video, thank you. It has been a long time since I've made a video. I'm sorry. I'm back now. I hit a bit of a rut. I was trying to make content just to, like, you know, for people. I was trying to make content that I knew people would watch, that I could get more views, but then that's just not who I am. I'm not I don't know how the algorithm works. I don't know any of that, you know, jazz about YouTube. All I know is I'm going to make movie and TV show reviews and anime reviews and Star Wars reviews and all that good stuff about stuff that I like. I'm going to make videos about stuff that I like, stuff I'm passionate about, and hopefully my passion transcends the screen itself and gets into the viewer, and the viewer likes and subscribes. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to stop making videos just to make videos. Yeah, I'm here to make content that I love to make, that I'm passionate about, and I hope that, you know, my passion exudes onto you. And yeah, if you're still here watching the video, thank you for watching. If you want to support, drop a like and subscribe, join the Beam team. And yeah, as we end every video here on the channel, I'm adding some new stuff to the outro. One AirPod in at all times. Drink water, pray, subscribe to King X Beam. I love you. Have a great day. Peace out.